very interesting way to apply augmented reality and intelligence to to that kind of thing. So it's super cool. But anyway, yeah, no, I mean we've had some interesting chats with people like Sten Salavier right before the holidays who did the murals project. And he's coming to New York. We're trying to see if we can do something with him in New York. When you said you were doing something in VR with Vivaldi, I said, "Well, Jesus, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
Let's talk about that for sure."
I can tell you. Well, a brief resume is that just 4 years ago, we
Right.
started a trip together with International School of Music called Reina Sofia here in Spain. And the idea was because COVID, well, they have an education program, and because the COVID, the students couldn't go to the theater and to experiment or to have live sessions with the musicians, which is one of the practices that they provide, and they have agreements with many universities, schools all around the world. The thing is that we developed, let's say, a platform to perform some histories around classical music that was performed by the musicians of the School of Music. They are mostly students, okay? And they are from only 100 people from all around the world. The best, they used to be there for between 6 and 8 years. That it's the time that they have to spend to be, let's say, the best performance and whatever. And well, we did a very interesting experience about the music of Tchaikovsky, Mozart, and Respighi. Okay,
Hmm.
and well, we were combining video with 360 recording sessions, but we put the orchestra inside the violin with assets, and we got some drones, pictures, and films from Norway to understand, just to put in the context the music, just because the students that today don't have an idea who is
Hmm.
Tchaikovsky, Mozart, and whatever. The thing is that this is the fourth year that this experience is already on the run, and still, though they are using a very old Pico devices, the Pico 4G2,
Right.
still the people is saying, this is amazing, what incredible experience. There are more than 13 videos, okay, and every video is an history that you can see the history of a luthier, how much time it takes to create or to develop a violin. So we were making an interview with a very famous luthier, and all the history about the goods and how to connect the nature with the music and all these things. So last year they came to me because they were looking someone to create a new project around the history of Vivaldi and the Four Seasons, and with a very famous musician that is Adam Malikian. Is one of the most famous violinists in the world. He's not only playing classical music, but he's also producing his own records and whatever. The thing I said, well, this is something incredible. I love Vivaldi, I love Ada, so how we can combine both, because
Right.
both were really very innovative in that time. And I said, okay, we need to think about what kind of history we want to tell and how we are going to represent and release to the world, okay, which is not very easy. So I started to think about how to develop this idea, and we said, okay, we can create, let's say, a virtual world where the people who is going to experiment the experience has to be. They need to feel that as they were inside the winter, summer, fall, or spring. They need to see with high quality how vibrant is this guy playing violin, and the orchestra as well is a string orchestra. And okay, we started to create a storytelling, and to produce it. And during the evolution of the project, we say, okay, we
Hmm.
can interact, we can create games. So the thing is that we don't want only the people to watch the history or to watch the concert, also to interact with the history. Okay,
Hmm.
so then we started to create these environments and to create some games according to the history of Vivaldi. Okay, they are not games just to play basketball or whatever. It's because you can see some animals, you can see nature, you can see the violin, and then you interact with the violin. And okay, we made a proposal, and you said, okay, you got it. And we won a contract from the Ministry of Education of Spain, and now we are in the final uh, release time because we need to release very, very fast. So the thing is, at the end, we said, okay, we are going to make a VR app. Okay, so we need to record. We were recording for 3 days in different sessions with, bless you, with 8K cameras and ambisonic sound, because when you are inside, because you are going to move inside the wall, so it's a 6DF app. Okay, and okay, we recorded the session that it was really tough because we need to train, but there was audience as well, so the problems with the sound. So okay, this was really something incredible. So the thing is that we are working on that to share with the world how it was done, how it was developed. And okay, now we already have the app. It's not finished, but it's really interactive, and the experience is impressive. So we have been working with Caus and Christie. I think you know these guys are absolutely blow mind, incredible.
Yeah.
And Andy Fidel and my team for
Yes.
sound and for VR in Spain, and together with Pico, because we are working with Pico, and we together with HP, because we need a lot of powerful machines just for render and all this stuff.
Yes.
Okay, so what we have already is all these the experiences. We have games. In those games, then you go inside the wall, and then you need to discover which is the main instrument according to the spring, for instance, which is violin. And once you discover the violin, then there is something magic that illuminates the scenario. So there are a lot of, let's say, small ticks inside the game that give you the opportunity to interact and to learn and to discover how you can see or learn or experiment with the music of Vivaldi. Okay, this is the
That's
first
great.
step. Now we are in contact with Sony. We want to see if Sony is interested to support us, because this is only the first step. We have a lot of recording sessions and videos that we want to promote. We are going to put it in a VR platform also for promotion and to the
Hmm.
people to have the opportunity to share their ideas. We are going, well, we are using Frame. I don't know if you are familiar with Frame. Frame,
Yeah.
well, engage, frame, spatial, meta, whatever. We work with frame because for some kind of events it's very good. We have very good relationship with Gabe Baker, and we did already some projects, some meta walls, and it's working quite good, and they're improving a lot. So for the, let's say, this is another part of the app where you can experiment or you can publish, or the visitors can see how it was built, how it is behind the scenes, and pictures, and a lot of resources that we already developed that will help mainly the young generations to understand the powerful of these technologies, how to
Yes.
feel and to experiment with that. Because I think, I'm convinced that classical music is really the real connection between the young generations and the future generation. It's not
Yes.
electronic, okay? Because the language is more uh, international, it's more agnostic, you know. So
Yes.
and the perceptions and the feelings are so powerful, and especially Vivaldi and the Four Seasons. is so incredible that there are a lot of games during the, the concert where Ara is trying to explain the feeling of the dream, for instance, or the noise of the trees, of the leaves, or the noise of the storm, and how Vivaldi translated all these concepts into music. Okay, and this is part of the complete atmosphere. So at least, well, the experience today we have only one movement because otherwise the complete experience will take 2 hours. So with one movement, it takes around 30 minutes, but it depends the time you want to spend, or if you want to share, or how you want to make it. What we have been, we made a, let's say, market exploration about if there are any similar experiences like that at the moment, and we didn't find something like that, you know. So there are something like Jean-Michel Jarre, but it's a
Yeah, but
post-production, and the DJ's experiences is always past production. And what we want, sorry, and the last product, let's say it that way, is that there will be live concerts where we are going to integrate all these technologies. Okay, so today this is why I have some delay. Sorry about that, because we were in the auditorium in the theater testing all these videos and just with the musicians to prepare the storytelling and all the performance that will be live the first time next Monday. Okay, so the thing is that we are going to have several three screens where the people that will go to the auditorium will see the most relevant images because it's not
Mhm.
VR at that
Right,
moment.
right, right, right.
Okay, but they can understand everything because they will see Ara in this big screen, then the musicians playing in the scenario, and all the animations and let's say contextual environments that we have been using artificial intelligence to create a lot of scenarios because we want to have only with our original assets. We didn't want to go to the market and to buy some assets. Everything is from scratch, you know. And with this kind of algorithms to say, okay, we need to put power in this part, or power in this, and engage in this. And next Monday will be perform, not the app, because we are still working on that because the complexity of the app is too much. We have been working for 6 months with this, not too much, but what we are looking now is for finance and partners and how to promote and to present the project because we think, well, we are working in the new future, how to interact with 3D screens, how
Right.
to interact with live performance. That is really the benefit for the musicians today, live performances, and in the
Yes.
way that they can perform, for instance, if they have a separate part in the auditorium where the people can test the VR device, let's
Okay.
say, for some minutes or whatever. So we are working in the complete uh, environment to perform live all around the world. It sounds very ambitious, but we are very ambitious. This is the truth.
So let me get this straight. So in the live performances, you'll have screens for the audience to see certain relevant images, and
Yeah,
then they can obviously try out in other parts, maybe in the lobby or something.
yeah,
You'll have some Pico headsets or
yes.
right.
But what you see in the Pico headset is the original history, okay? And
Right,
what you
right,
see in the auditorium is the live performance.
right. Um and when will this experience be I mean available? In other words, and where? I mean,
Well, in
Pico
Pico
is
devices
right.
will be in March, okay? But
Okay.
the first release will be the 1st of February. Well, 31 of January will be
Okay.
the first, but we have to test. And let's say the web page, the frame environment will be released very, very soon because
Okay.
it's the channel that we want to use as a web page just to promote and to, for instance, to make a media presentation or
Sure.
to just directly with the musician, you know. So
Yeah.
and this is something that
Amazing.
is quite new for the people today, you know,
Right.
but we want to use some, let's say, testimonials or reference guys
Hmm.
that can help us to see, to promote, and to see what's going on.
Right. It sounds amazing. I mean, obviously I've done a lot in the broader virtual theater world. We are trying to push the envelope with immersive audio for both live and on-demand experiences. So I think that, but this is also an educational opportunity that you are bringing to, as you said, mostly a younger audience, but it doesn't sound like that's exclusively the case.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Right. And to me, the the value of what you're doing is to get the kind of 3D or 360 sensory experience to capture the lushness and contextual richness of the music,
Yeah.
which obviously for anyone who knows Vivaldi and the Four Seasons is like, okay, well, that's a great primer because among other things, you've got literally four seasons that are being expressed. So I think it's brilliant, of course, and anything that you can present, because I already put you down.
Yeah.
I've already told everyone that you're going to be on the call on February 8th, so mark it down.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. We
right.
can, because we have a lot of videos, and we have many many things that we can show. Okay.
Good,
So
good.
the,
Because yeah, Carlos, the way we do it, well, I mean, you're familiar with most of these calls. It's a 30-minute, I put that in
yeah, I
air
know, I
quotes,
know, I
call.
know.
You know the deal. It's over Google Meet, you know the whole thing. So, but this is really primo, because I think that these opportunities become rarer and rarer, and I don't know why, well, I know one of the reasons why. It's just funding.
Yeah.
Um, everybody from, the Meta, all the sources of funding that we knew 6, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, all that funding, and particularly in Europe, that's gone away.
Yeah.
Those sources, I'm not saying the funding itself, but those, Arte at one point in France was a huge funder of a lot of these projects. But I think from an educational point of view, this is unique. I particularly like the live component. You'll get a lot of questions about what that means. I mean, I'm sure a lot of
Well,
people think,
I can
yeah,
tell you a lot of things about the real problems with 360 videos, the integration between 360 formats, 8 key, about
right,
all the software that we used, and the problem of integration, the problems with you have different cameras, how to make the zoom or the
yeah,
uh, how it is, the fade out, fade in, and the
right,
problems with the sound. It was incredible. You cannot imagine. We have a lab, a sound lab working with Ambisonic, but the powerful of the concert is so strong, because we prepared the scenario just for the 360 environment.
hmm,
And the other thing is that all the effects are not in the video, because in our first experience we put all the power and emphasis in the video. Now the power is in the scenario, in the wall. So the thing is that you can leverage the density of the transparency between the video and the environment. So you can use it, and for instance, if there is a storm, that you will see a storm, but it's not inside the video; it's inside the environment. So in the way that we have created this transition from winter to summer, or from spring to summer, it's incredible, because the perception is beautiful. So the thing is that you are part of the event, of the concert, and you can manage. Today, when we have been testing with the musicians, all the images and the videos that we are going to share in the screens, they were just astonished. They said, "It's really inspired." Said yes, because we want to make This is not a secret. The thing is the quality and how to put in the
Right.
context,
Right.
the history that we want to share. It's not
Yeah.
a incredible, blah, blah, blah. No, no, no. This is something that engage you in a very strong, just an idea. We are working with Coast and Christie and they are in Los Angeles, okay? How they can understand what we want to do if we don't spend a lot of hours trying to explain and they have to see the videos, they need to understand the musician, the culture, the idea of Vivaldi. So we spend a lot of time trying to enrich them. I don't know if it's the right word, just to, it's like if you need to be sour by the music and all the perceptions in
Yeah.
the way
Yeah.
to say, I got it. I got it. So now
Yeah.
I we understand what we have to do. And it was pretty amazing. This was really a very incredible job of all the team, and in the way that Andy and myself are working because we have been working for many years and making many things. So in the way that we work together and we put all these things together into the project, the result will be pretty amazing. It's not something that we are going to do for blow, whoa, whoa. No, it's the real life.
Hmm.
And you are going to experiment something that when you see, it's the same example. More than 10,000 kids, well, kids, students between 13 and 18, no, experiment with the music with five senses. When you see the smile, the faces, and you see, okay, these guys are only watching these stupid things, electronics and that, and when they are hearing Vivaldi. When I made a presentation, an
I love it.
introduction, I said,
Yeah.
hey, you like heavy metal, thrash metal? But no, no. I said, okay, maybe one or two, yes. Van Halen, in the way that play guitar so fast? Okay, these kids are going to play for you two times faster, but they are going to play 13 at the same time. Can you believe it? No, impossible. And they said, I said, my God. I said, okay, you can go to the school and you can learn violin, cello, whatever, and you can play like them, And this is the value, how much time it costs, what they are doing. They want to be the first performance in the world. So they are playing just for you. And this is your
Wow.
opportunity. So the thing
Amazing.
is that more than 95% of the kids that already watch this experience say, it's impressive. I can't believe that, you know. So we have a lot of videos of these experiences and watching the kids and impressive, impressive. So
Amazing.
this is why we think
Yeah.
that there is a new opportunity with this project and we want to grow with this project.
The super it's superb to get that kind of response and yeah, I think in this kind of context, you mentioned Jean-Michel Jarre, uh who I'm a huge fan of, and I really love the work that he's been doing and the whole you know some of the work they've done with VR room, and I mean, it was amazing, to see, and I experienced some of the work that he's done recently in VR at last year's South by Southwest virtual festival. But that's a very, very different thing. I mean, to me, these kinds of experiences, whether you see things like, the immersive Monet's Garden, some of those things are very it's amazing how little it takes to bring a work of art to life in a very multi-sensory thing. I
Yeah.
want to talk to you a little bit about the ambisonics, um, because that's something that I'm very deeply involved in right now through a client called Vaudeville Sound Group.
Uh-huh.
They're a London-based group that's been around for 18 years. They're very well known in sound mixing for television and film, and they've done some work in video games. They have a Vancouver outfit that's been around for a while, and they've got a Burbank studio and a Culver City studio they launched last year, which is specifically meant to deal with immersive audio. So I've been working with them for close to a year now. I brought them into some pretty big opportunities, including with Google. We were just public 2 weeks ago with a big announcement at CES for how Vaudeville is the creative launch partner for this new spec from the Alliance for Open Media called Immersive Audio Models and Formats, IAMF. And it's open source. So this is dealing with ambisonics, non-diegetic audio, infinite speaker placements. It's way beyond Atmos, of course. So very, very interested in what you're doing to apply ambisonics here, because to me, that has been a missing ingredient in all of the worlds that we've
Yeah,
been talking about, in particularly in VR, but not just VR, of course. It could be AR, it could be something that's in a live space, or it could be in a headset. But I find that that's been missing, and
completely agree.
I find that this opportunity with IAMF blah, 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 is really well timed in terms of where we take these experiences forward, and the fact that you're doing this in an educational mode with Vivaldi, with this music and these experiences using ambisonics, I think is just brilliant. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, well, the idea is that well, we were studying a lot and watching a lot of very complex experiences with ambisonics from different studios. Sorry, and the thing is that when you are watching a concert, you are not going to move between the musicians. Okay, it has no sense. So the people that used to put one, two, three, four cameras, and then you see, okay, you can put it here, and you can see here the cello. It doesn't work in that way. And I will tell my idea, my opinion. Okay, I don't know if you watch the concert of the Rolling Stones in the Beacon Theater, the film developed by Scorsese. Okay, it was 7.1 sound. Okay, you can be close to Keith Richard. I don't
Hmm.
want to hear the guitar of Keith Richard doing clank, clank, clank. So when you are in front of the concert, music is the composition, is the sum
Yeah.
of all the instruments. Okay,
Yes.
and the other thing is another thing. Okay, so when you are in front of the musicians, then you want to hear everything. Today is a
Yes.
problem because the people, you used to work in mono because the big stadiums and you cannot use stereo. But when you are in a position that you are the only one person in the world that is going to watch or to hear this experience, okay, then the point of view and the point where you are going to hear everything, it must be the same. Otherwise, there is no correlation between the video and the sound. Okay, and this is very important. So the second is, if you put in a, because we watch a lot of concerts that the people is trying to combine many ambisonics, then the production is very, very complex, because then why I need to put the camera close to the violoncello? Maybe I only want to hear the violoncello, but then I have to create a different script. Okay, because at the end I want to hear the whole concert. The thing is that when you are in a good auditorium, only with one, we use Zoom. We have a Schneider, but it's very complex for the post-production. We use Zoom. And then we put it in a critical position close to the camera where you can hear everybody. And then you say to the musician, to the violinist, okay, you have to move. We need some movements and some effects, but in the real from the real interpretation. So when you move in that way, the people is going to hear the violin in that way. But when you move in that direction, okay, then you need to watch the camera. So we prepare everything in the situation that, for instance, when there is a movement that you hear all the violins, blah, 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 you hear in
Hmm.
the headset and say, wow, it's pretty amazing. Okay, so I don't need to say, well, we change sometimes because the powerful when there is a duet between the violin and the cello, then we change the camera point of view, because otherwise it's always the same point of view. But it's because the script, and we want to put the focus in a very specific movement when the powerful is so strong,
Hmm.
and then you have to see what is going on. Okay, because otherwise in the live concert you are not going to catch up all these moments. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
but when you see the video, just, I want to go to see this crazy guy, I want to see this concert again. Okay, I did it, so I do it every day, every night. So I put the classes, for me it's a new concert every day, because I can discover different things, The other thing is that, okay, with the quality of this sound, there are a lot of things that you, in the original, let's say, concept, you you have no opportunity to hear this sounds or mistakes, but it's live, and then you can hear everything. But one thing is important, because the musicians used to have Bluetooth for the tablets, for the partiture and whatever. You need to train a bit all the people in the scenario or in the stage to say, please take care with that, with this, with the noise and whatever, because maybe it's going to sound very loud, though we are going to make a post production to clean the audios or whatever. But we want, like the live concerts, we want to get the live, real experience, because then the people will get it. And we say,
Right.
right.
So, okay,
So,
this is exactly where I am. Um, what I like to do in due course, um, first of all, send me as much information, Carlos, as you can. Just send me PDFs or links, whatever you
yeah,
can. Because at a certain point in time, could even be, you know, sooner than later. I'm just curious to see if there's an opportunity for my people from Vaudeville Sound to work with you, if that makes sense, if there's some opportunity there. But I don't want to waste your time, nor anybody's. But send me all this
yeah,
information because
sure.
number one, I need it to prepare
Yeah, yeah,
everything for your presentation, which is in
right,
less than 2 weeks
absolutely.
now.
Yeah,
Um, but it's particularly in the ambisonic world that my interest is peaked. Everything else, of course, is amazing, but in a very narrow way,
yeah.
particularly for what I'm doing with Vaudeville Sound Group. Um, yeah, and take a look at that. I can send you, of course, a lot of information on what they're doing as well.
Great.
But it is very timely conversation. So I'm first of all, I'm delighted that you reached out. Thank you for that. Uh, I'm delighted to see you again.
Sure.
And number three, I look forward to what's to come. But kudos to you because
Thank
it,
you.
it
Thank you
sounds
very
like
much. I
you're
appreciate a
breaking
lot.
some ground here that it's just great, man. So hey, total change of subject. Speaking of seeing, are you coming to the States? I won't be over in your neck of the woods. I'm not at MWC this year. I'll be at
Well,
South by. I'm speaking at South by Southwest on immersive audio. I have a big panel on March 15th with Mirko Vogel from Vaudeville Sound, Yanni Wolpinen from Google, and Silvana Levy, who was on a panel that I did in
uh huh.
Miami in 2022 on virtual theater. Um, but yeah, I'll be at all the usual places in the States. I don't know when I'm next in your
I
neck of
can
the
share
woods.
something. We want to perform. This is very complex, but we want
Right.
to perform live and to present the project in Malaga in June 11th, 13th, in a digital enterprise show, which is one of the biggest conference about digital
Okay.
transformations in Europe. Okay,
In
and this
Malaga.
could be in Malaga. Last year we invited Emi Peck, Elizabeth Baron, Monica Ares, so a lot of people from the community. Kathy Herkel was with us 3 years ago, and we had the opportunity to put all to get all the mega XR women in Madrid and now in Malaga. Okay, so I can send you this information because this year I'm managing the entertainment track. That means that we are working in how we can, which are the main players that we can invite to talk about the very, very innovative and inspirational ideas in the entertainment. But we are not talking about circus or whatever. We are talking about digital entertainment, okay? And this
Right.
entertainment world. So, and I will get this meeting with all the staff next week. So I can share very, very soon. And this will be amazing because I was thinking to bring some, let's say, virtual DJs, but we want to Ara Malikian to perform live and to present the project live. And then the people will see that it's not only blah, blah, blah. This is not the
Right.
Congress for bloggers or whatever. It's a Congress for professionals. And I'm managing
Uh,
the XR track as far as Spain. You know, maybe there is a chance because I made the proposal to John Cunningham and Nathan Petitjohn to make the European summit in this event because the infrastructure is incredible. So we don't have to spend any dollar or any euro because they put everything. So we can say, okay, we can share one area, specific area for VR AR association,
mhm.
and we can be there. So, anyways, that these are things
Yeah.
I'm working on.
Hey, before we go, yeah, I have a quick question for you. So what's your role in Verara these days?
Well, I'm the chapter president of Spain and the co-chair
Right.
of education.
I'm sorry, you're chapter president of
Co-
Spain,
and
and
co-chair of education committee.
that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I'm just confirming. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Carlos, this is really super. As I said, send me some links, send me
yeah.
some
Sure, sure.
material. I'll do the same with respect to vaudeville. And let's talk again soon. And as I said, kudos, man. This is
Thank you
great.
very much. So
Yeah.
you will send me the confirmation for the presentation.
Yeah. So let me be
Okay.
very specific. So what I do is create a descriptor. It's like a paragraph with some background information. I'll
Yeah.
come up with a title for what this is, and we don't promote until really the
No, no, no.
Monday
Yeah, 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 yeah.
before. So that would be Monday the 5th of February. But you and I can go back and forth on this, and we'll fine tune it and do the proper promotion. But in the meantime, I'd like to learn more
Yeah, sure.
about what you're
Absolutely.
doing, particularly in Ambisonic. So
Okay.
thank you, sir.
My
Okay.
pleasure, Chris. Take
All right.
care.
Have a great weekend,
Thank you.
Carlos.
Thank you